Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly energy reading where we talk all about what's going on in the collective energy, the energy that's impacting each and every one of us, and how we can use it to our benefit, how we can make the most of it, how we can go with the flow of the energy that's being presented to us and use it so that we can have our most successful week possible. I feel like this goes without saying, but I do have to say that this is a collective reading. This is not a private reading. And so take what resonates with you, leave the rest. What we're going to do is we're going to go through my messages, the messages that I connected with about this energy. We're going to talk about what's going on in the energy, what I have connected with, and then we're going to shift into the tarot reading on the other side of that, where we build on the messages that have come through and put together a comprehensive message for the week. So let me know, first of all, if you guys are watching, say hello, check in. Hi, Jeremy. Nice to see you here. And I can't help but notice before we even dive in that on the bottom of this deck is, I have my giant deck, by the way. I think it makes a really nice visual. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands. Yeah, I think there are opportunities that are coming our way. We'll see if that comes up in the tarot shuffle as well. But this end of the year, while it seems like we can expect a lot of curveballs, a lot of unknowns, a lot of things shifting and moving, I also think that in the mix of all of that is a lot of opportunity and a lot of beautiful things that are happening. A lot of end of the year miracles that are happening. So if you guys have been waiting on this stuff, I feel like it's all shaping up. We've been leaning into this new chapter. We have been trying to figure out what the heck this new chapter looks like in our life. And now we're going to just kind of let this unfold. We're being invited to go with the flow and to let ourselves be shown where this needs to go. I don't know about you guys. I was saying last week, it felt like there was a lot of surprises ahead, but man, was last week very surprising in a lot of different ways. And not necessarily all in bad ways, because it felt like where there were things that were stressful that came up, there were things that happened in the midst of that where it was like, oh, that's why that's happening. Like, it led to a different result. It led to something happening in a way that healed something, shifted something, or for me anyway, forced me to take a look at some of the things that I was afraid of and to respond differently so that I could set myself free. I really think that this energy is about setting ourselves free from fear, setting ourselves free from the ways that we've been keeping ourselves small and stuck and holding ourselves back, or even just becoming aware of how much fear or anger or other things have been holding us back more than we actually realized. I think that sometimes we can get so caught up in what that ego wants and what that ego thinks that it needs, that we don't recognize when we go past that point of no return. Well, not of no return, because it's not of no return, because we are returning, but we go past that point where this thing no longer serves us. This thing no longer is helpful to us. And maybe at one time it was, but now it's not. And so I think that there's a lot of recognition of that now. Like, you know what? It's not helpful for me to hold on to this anger anymore. Maybe the anger is impacting you more than you realized, or it's not helpful to continue to bear the brunt of a specific burden for somebody else, for yourself. And maybe it's been impacting us more than we realized. And as we begin to let it go through the circumstances that are showing up, because I think that the circumstances that are showing up are showing us how to let it go, or supporting us in letting things go. And so as that happens, we're finding that it's lighter on the other side of that, that there are opportunities on the other side of that, maybe in really surprising ways. So if we can just allow the process to process and to show us the way and to lead us through all of this, it's taking us where we need to be. I don't know. Have you guys had this stuff show up for me? Let me know in the comments, like what's been going on for you? What have you had come up for you? Have you had some weird things show up in your experience? I had some stuff show up for me last week where it was like, oh, okay, so I have to take a boundary to a whole other level. And that allowed me to take a boundary to a whole other level, right? There was a lesson, there was growth, there was an opportunity in that. I was able to, some of you guys know this, but I think there's a lot of small victories that are happening. And so this week I was able to transition out of the occupational therapy that I've been doing for this frozen shoulder that I've been dealing with for over a year. It's been, or a little bit under a year. So almost a year. It's been a lot, and it's been harder than I realized. Like so today when he said, you don't need to come here anymore. You've healed enough that the rest of this you can do on your own. And I cried the whole way home because it was like, wow, I didn't realize how much that was affecting me until he acknowledged that. And I essentially like let go of another layer of that. So I think that we're letting go of some things this week. Let it lead you and show you where you can let go of things and where you've been carrying burdens that were heavier than you realized. So we have these small victories that are showing up. I would love to hear your small victories. Let me know in comments, like what's been a small victory that you have connected with, or if it comes up for you later this week, let me know what that looks like. Come back and leave a comment because I always love to hear what's going on for you. But what's been a small victory in your world? And here's the thing about these small victories is that I really feel like these small victories that we might be excited about and feeling grateful about, but they're just like these little things. And I feel like there's going to be many small victories throughout the course of the week. These small victories are foreshadowing of where we are going. So what I mean by that is they're giving us an indication of the gains that we can expect moving forward, right? So for me, if we're going to use the shoulder example, it might suggest that I'm going to have more physical wellness gains moving forward, which I kind of expect it because I'm looking at the way that things are aligning and the choices that I'm making and some shifts that I've made to some of the things that I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense that that's foreshadowing for where it's going. So what are some of the small victories and where is that going, right? Even like something as silly as I have like my mic set up in a different way. Maybe you guys have noticed I've got my little pink fuzzy on there, and that's like the littlest small victory, but can this lead to more success? I'm streaming my videos differently. Can this lead to more success, to more people connecting with these messages? Whatever, right? But is it foreshadowing of the things that are meant to come? So I want you to pay attention to these small victories. It could be as simple as you're just having a great day and an indication that things are moving forward. Or maybe you have like a little tiny financial win that's relatively small, but is that an indication that things are moving forward in a positive way? I also connected with a message about this that said, faith will bridge the gap. Okay. So I do feel like this week is kind of the bridge into some more of these bigger returns on these small victories. And so what's going to bridge that gap is to hold the faith, right? There were some things this week that I had cleared and released, and wanted to kind of keep checking on, like, is that cleared? Is that released? Is that okay? And just really strongly felt like I needed to stop checking on that. Like, I need to just keep the faith. So where are you checking when you need to be leaning into your faith, when you need to be making sure, or just trusting in the fact that God, the universe, the divine, whatever that is for you, has your back and is taking care of you and is creating things that are so much better than you could ever imagine. I love the idea of just holding the energy that God is about to show us how good it can be. And these little victories this week are these indications of maybe the blessings that are coming in, maybe what that looks like. So I think that this is that foreshadowing for that. So pay attention and pay attention to the surprises and the curveballs and the opportunities. I keep feeling these opportunities coming in, right? So pay attention to that. They might be littler opportunities or something you perceive as a little opportunity this week, but it leads to something so much bigger for the long term. Hi, Rick. Nice to see you. Hi, La Terra Boutique. Nice to see you on here too. So, yeah, I also just get this indication that this week there are opportunities for mastery over our fears. So you might have some fears come up for you this week. Or again, like these indications, I didn't realize how scared I was of that until it got cleared in some way or until I chose to release it in some way. So I would notice those things as well because I think that there are these opportunities for mastery over some of our fears that we have and letting those go for good. I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled that devil card here in the tarot because that devil card is all about setting ourselves free. And I think that there's a lot that we're unchaining ourselves from, a lot that we are unhooking ourselves from. And again, it's like, I think that how we can navigate this is to lean into that faith over fear and letting that faith bridge the gap from these little indications of the foreshadowing leading into even better possibilities moving forward. So this is wonderful. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you on here. And Rick is saying, yeah, absolutely. Lack of money fear. Okay. So if that fear is coming up, can we set the intention that there's more than enough? Can we put it out there? God, show me how good it can be. Show me some indication that things are moving in the right direction. And then holding that faith, because if we can hold that faith and hold that energy, it's creating that magnet. And that's always true, but I feel like that's especially strong this week. So this is a very good thing, right? It just feels like opportunities for things to get better and better if we're open to them to get better. And you might say, well, why wouldn't I be open to them for them to get better? But it's like, I think sometimes we get so caught up in the fear or so caught up in holding on to the past or holding on to things that we think that we need that we actually can block the blessings that are wanting to come in. And so that's going to require us to let go, and that might require us to let go of some of the stories that we're telling ourselves, or especially a story that says, well, maybe part of the story is I've always had trouble with this issue, whatever the issue is, right? And so that doesn't mean that has to always be true. And so can we start to just open up to a new story? And maybe you're not ready to say, well, I never have issues with this, but maybe you're ready to say, you know what? Maybe my finances are moving in a better direction. Maybe my shoulder is moving in a better direction. Maybe my shoulder is healing and almost healed, and I've already created it, and I just have to ride out the momentum of this and the progress that's already been made. Maybe things can get better. God, show me how good it can be. I think if we can do that, that's going to be great. There's also an energy that I do feel this, and this isn't just this week. I feel like this has been kind of coming in. I feel like we're going to see this through the end of the year. There's a lot of energy around love, partnerships, collaboration, working together with other people. I think a lot of what we have coming in is going to require us to rely on each other a little bit more, support each other a little bit more, to work together a little bit more, to create more of a community. So I see a lot of that relationship energy coming in however that's going to apply to us individually. And so we're just being invited to lean into that, to be open to that, to see where that takes us. We also, this week, I think, are still kind of reprioritizing. And so if we can be as focused as possible on our priorities, on what matters the most to us, and to give our energy to that, to focus our energy on that, I think that that is going to be serving us, because this is in part how we're going to be creating these small victories, right? Is by focusing on the shit that matters, the stuff that we really care about, the stuff that we know is what we want to be focusing on. And maybe we need to reprioritize a little bit, right? Maybe part of the small victories are seeing, oh, I've been giving a lot of energy and attention to that thing, and that doesn't feel good. That isn't really serving me anymore. And as you let that go, you realize what a burden you have been carrying for so long. That is very much the energy this week. So what are you guys willing to let go of? What are the small victories that have been showing up for you? I would love to hear. If you guys are watching this on my YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Even if you're watching live on my Facebook, please swing by my YouTube and subscribe. It just helps to support the channel, and it helps these messages to reach the people that need to connect with these messages. These messages are typically for those of you who are sensitive to energy, which, by the way, is most of you, especially those who are interested in these intuitive, spiritual kind of messages, because you feel it already. And so this is all about just helping you to understand what the heck is going on, right? By the way, in my Clarity by Christy membership, I do a monthly overview, what to expect through the month, with a written printable cheat sheet so that you can take a look at, okay, what's coming up? What do I need to know? And so you can check in with that throughout the month and remind yourself what's going on with the energy. And so those of you that like to plan ahead or like to know what to expect, I talk about the astrology, I talk about the energy, and that's just one of the things that I share in my membership. That is available at claritybychristy.com, and then go to the membership tab. I'll make sure that I put that below too. But I love my membership. I love because there's also like a monthly energy session that I do, and that is a channeled energy session. It is attuned with an angelic energy session to help support your energy with the astrology, with the energy that is happening through the month. And it is a powerful thing. It's you use it anytime that you're having a hard time, or anytime you're having a great day too. You can use it to help you in continuing to upgrade your energy, because it helps people to clear, to balance, to upgrade whatever it is that they're needing, and to work with the energy that is happening there. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this card first though. The first card, the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man in reverse. So I think that we're having, I've been saying this and I forgot to mention this, so I'm so glad this card came up. I think that we're having a lot of aha moments right now, a lot of light bulb moments, a lot of things where it's like, oh my God, oh, that makes so much sense. Have you guys been having these light bulb moments, these things, these truths that are coming to light? And it's not even like these, not always like these huge moments where it's like a life-changing revelation, although it certainly can be, but also just like these things that are clicking into place, and it's like, that's what I need to do, or that's what's been going on, or that's why that happened, or that's what I needed to know about that person. And this is a great time and a great energy for you to ask God, ask the universe, whatever that is for you, to show you, right? I ask for that all the time. And this is how I avoid so many pitfalls in life. I just say, God, show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see about this person. Show me what I need to see in my work. Show me what I need to see, because then I'm inviting it and it comes to the surface. Now, sometimes it's a pain, because sometimes I don't love the answer. I don't love what comes up, or I don't love what happens. And it can be a little frustrating, because it can feel like a lot of things that are starting to move in a direction that I would expect would be successful fall apart pretty quickly. And so that can be frustrating. However, What that's doing is it's preventing me from having to go through the entirety of a lesson and to waste a lot of my time, a lot of my energy on a circumstance, an opportunity, a person, whatever that is, when I can better use my energy elsewhere. So, this is how, when you invite that in and you just say that out loud or in your mind, it doesn't have to be that serious, right? Like, it's not hard to ask for that help. Once you start to do that, you will see that you will get what you asked for. Just understand that that may not always be the answer that you're looking for or the outcome that you're looking for, but that's okay because this is looking out for you. And that's really, really key. Next card that we have is the Four of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this is talking about small victories. Look at the way that they're celebrating there. There's such a celebration that's happening. We might find ourselves celebrating with friends, with people we care about, or just like sharing things. I was sharing about my frozen shoulder issue and the healing of that today. And that feels like such a victory. And people have really been responding so nicely to that and celebrating with me. And I love that. Thank you so much. It just, it's good, right? But this is also a coming together with the people that we're meant to connect with, the people that matter the most to us, the people that are going to be a part of this new beginning, this new chapter in our lives that we're just starting to understand what it looks like, but we're just at the beginning still. I don't think we're going to know. I don't think that's going to fully unfold for a few months, really, because there's a lot of moving parts, but we start to see pieces of it. We start to understand, okay, maybe this is going in this direction. But again, this feels like that foreshadowing energy where it's saying, okay, like these little victories are showing you what are going to be the big returns in your life moving forward. So pay attention. It might feel small and insignificant now, but it's it's planting a seed for something bigger moving forward into the future. Then we have the Six of Swords. And this is about moving into something later, right? But this card does require faith, right? This woman is trusting this boatman to carry her out of the rougher waters into the calmer waters, but she doesn't look like it's a celebration to be there, right? Like, this looks like a tough decision, and it looks like, wow, okay, I've got to cut my losses, and it's time for me to trust where God, my angels, my guides, the universe is leading me. But this isn't always an easy thing to do. This is an act of faith. And this faith, as I've been saying, is going to bridge the gap, right? She has to be willing to get into the boat and to let herself be led, or nothing's going to happen. It's not going to change, it's not going to shift, it's not going to move into something better. So we have an invitation, we have a choice, an opportunity, and we can choose to take it or not. And no judgment either way, right? But where are you being called to move? Where are you being called to trust? Where are you being called to be in faith? See where that leads you. See where it wants you to go, because there's something really beautiful on the other side of it. I also get this I get this feeling with this, like there's an indication here that we very much are moving out of the past. And anybody who is focused on the past right now, you're very strongly being shown and encouraged to move forward with your life. And I get it. We can get nostalgic. We can create better stories in our minds than actually were the case. And so be mindful of that, right? We don't want to go backwards in this energy. We're preparing for another Mercury retrograde in December. You can do a lot of looking back and reflecting back then, but not right now. Right now is about moving forward, being present in the present moment, and looking at, okay, what does this new chapter look like? Again, as we're leaning into this new chapter, we have no idea where we're going. She doesn't know where the boat is taking her, but she just knows that it's time for her to move on. It's time for her to move forward. And so she is and trusts it. Page of Wands. So right now, it's important for us to focus on what lights us up, to focus on what makes us excited, to maybe create something new. I have a friend who started a business today, and I'm so excited for her. It's like, this is the kind of vibe. It's like, okay, like I want to do this, and so I'm going to. And this feels like something that we have so much pride in. What do you take pride in? What feels good to you? What feels like you would be really proud of yourself if you leaned into it? What would maybe make the people in your world proud of you, but it doesn't really matter. This is about what makes you proud. What do you feel good about? What are you excited about? But this probably is something new or something that you're revisiting that you once were connected with. I was with this card, he always just looks so proud. Like, look at what I'm doing, look at what I'm creating. And that's the energy that I'm getting here with this. This is a new beginning. Again, like it's new, fresh energy. And what are you focused on building? What are you focused on creating? And can you lean into that? Three of Pentacles, because this is a time of important collaboration. So maybe what you're creating is going to require you to work together with other people. You might feel compelled to work together with other people. There's something about that here with this. And the things that you're working on are going to lead to big returns. You might just kind of out of the blue have something come together and you're like, oh, this is a nice little, what a nice little thing that this, why can I speak today? Oh my gosh, I'm like tripping over my words. But you might be excited about something small that's just sort of coming together. And then you realize this is bigger, or this is becoming something so much bigger than I thought it was. And, what I thought was just going to be like this silly little hobby on the side is now becoming a business that I'm working on with other people. Or what I thought was just something that is fun for me is now bringing in more opportunities than I expected, and it's connecting me with more people than I expected. So there's something about connecting with other people and working together for a shared goal. For those of you where that's connected with like a business or money or something like that, I think that that is going to be part of the big return is through money. But certainly with these wands here, fulfillment. Speaking of fulfillment, the last card that we have here is the Empress. We're good. You are so magnetic right now. And this is inviting us to lean into that magnetism, to think about our magnet, to think about us as a magnet, and then thinking about how are we powering up that magnet? Because how we power that magnet up is through our thoughts, through our words, through how we feel. And again, faith will bridge the gap, right? I want you to hold the energy of the expectation that incredible things are coming, that God has big plans for you, that God has amazing plans for you. And then I want you to allow it to come in. This is not other than working on things that we're excited about, this is not a hard work kind of a week. I think that at least like we want to be choosy with the work that we're doing. We want to be working on the things that matter the most to us, and also trusting that we have set intentions and be focused on setting other intentions and trusting that we're magnetizing that to us. This is a very abundant energy. I also just feel so fulfilled when I look at this card. I don't know, there's something in this energy about realizing this week that we have embodied something that we have wanted to embody, that we have wanted to be, that we have wanted to do for so long. And then you realize, holy shit, I'm already there. It already happened. I've already created that. And I can't think of anything better to be grateful for, right? So hold that gratitude in advance and know that beautiful things are coming in. So those are your messages for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are catching the replay, please say hello. Hit me with a hashtag replay. Let me know. Let me know your small victories. I want to hear them. I want to know them. I love to hear that stuff. So let me know. If you don't want to share personal things, please leave an emoji or something in the comments. All of this helps my videos with reach. Please share that with the people that you think need to hear these messages. For some people, these messages are going to be like a personal reading for them. And I think that it gives people hope. And I think it also helps people to understand what it is that they're feeling in this energy. So it's really important. But some of you guys are such rock stars with sharing these messages, sharing these videos. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much. You guys you're just the best. I love you so much. I'm sending you all love and light through all of this, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.